Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Welcome to our GroupWise product update webinar, August 2024, sorry. My name is not Robin Redgrave because he has no time today. My name is Mike Hunsche. I'm a pre-sales consultant based out of Europe, responsible for the German-speaking area. With me, we have a wonderful panel here. Eric is with us, Bob Goodman and Lex are with us, Pam is with us, Jay is with us, and some others are in the background. So a lot of people here to give you answers to all your questions. Before we start, the recording is enabled as typically. We have a wonderful agenda today, so we want to discuss. Come on, where is the agenda? It's not coming up. No, it's coming up. Okay, so agenda for today, upcoming events. So then we will get a development update from Eric. After that, we will discuss and see Webex integration in GroupWise, and if we have time at the end, questions and answers. So I think we will have time for those. Whenever you have questions, don't hesitate and to put them in the question and answer section. We will take a look on those and answer them or bring them up here to each and every one. Upcoming events. So the biggest event for OpenText is the OpenText World, which will take place in Las Vegas in November 18th to 21st of November in Las Vegas. So a very nice place to get all the new information about our future with our artificial intelligence. So if you are interested, just go to our website, and on the top you will find the registration link, and then you get to this page here where you can register to join this event. There are also some GroupWise specific events, or let's say not only GroupWise specific, but in that case more GroupWise specific. So we have our Germany, Austria, Switzerland tour this year, which will take place in November from the 4th to the 14th. The locations are fixed, but the match is not fixed so far. So that will happen in September, and we will promote these events as soon as possible. TTP will also take place this time, so the next one will be in Bangalore. The plan is to bring the TTP to Bangalore in December, but it's in planning stage, so you will also get some updates maybe in September, so with fixed dates for all the three events. Yeah, that's it. Eric, it's time for you to jump in.
I could do that.
Do you want to present something, share something, or?
So I have in the past, I have brought up roadmap, swim lanes and such. This time I don't have an updated one to show from the last webinar that we had, which was just, I think it was less than even 4 weeks ago. It wasn't very long ago.
Yeah.
Since then we've had releases, and so I'll just talk about, the two product releases, what we have coming up. And then I hope to have, the updated swim lanes for the next webinar. So while I have been working on them, they're not quite ready for the public to see yet. So or those that are in here to see yet. So so what I wanted to make sure that everyone's probably already aware, but we had the 24.3 releases that came out just at the end of, by the end of last month. So that was GroupWise 24.3. And then that was also SMG 24.3. So some pretty, you know, some pretty big things that came out of SMG. We'll talk. I'll talk about that in just a second. But with GroupWise, the GroupWise client got the Microsoft Teams integration that we had built. So hope maybe some of you have tried that out and let us know how that's going if you've done that. That with that integration there, that was the main thing. The other thing for GroupWise Web was attachment scanning integration with SMG. So that was the first touch in there with that. As for SMG, we released that version there as well last month, and that was a pretty big deal because that was the separation from the appliance. So as we know here now, SMG going forward will be the SMG appliance, or not appliance, but the SMG application that will run on OpenSUSE, and then by 24.4 it'll be SLES 15 SP6 as well. So yeah, looking ahead, we have for GroupWise in 24.4, we'll be adding also Webex integration in the client. I'll sort of round out the top pieces that the top pieces of social integration for the GroupWise client that we were looking at. If there are others, I would love to hear the ideas and votes to see if there are other integrations that are sorely needed for your organizations. So so for 24.4 GroupWise, we expect WebEx. For GroupWise Web, we will extend the SMG integration from right now right now it only does attachment scanning. We'll add content, message content scanning for 24.4 for GroupWise, the GroupWise Web SMG integration. So yeah, those are the two main things. We'll also get a retain release for 24.4 as well. And I'm sure pretty much everyone in here knows, but just to reiterate, retain releases 2 times per year instead of 4 times per year. So we get a 24.2 and a 24.4. That means an April and an October release. So in that release, the main thing for retain is an NTLM Kerberos authentication method that will come with that. So in addition to other core services, bug updates, the main feature coming through there has to do with not needing basic authentication anymore. We'll be able to use the Kerberos. It'll be Kerberos first, NTLM fallback, and then if your organization still uses basic authentication, we'll have a method. We'll have a way for you to still use that. But that's where that will head. For the future, for retain, we'll be looking at a Teams integration there. We'll also be looking at an idle integration. We'll be working with the idle team on that one, so it's hard to pinpoint an exact release time. I'm hoping for 24.2. That's kind of the goal, but there are a lot of factors that work into there. So, but that's the hope. We've still been looking at an Outlook plugin in update with retain. That one's proven difficult with the new client integration points that they have, and so we'll be looking toward that one. So yeah, those are the main points I wanted to bring up and just make you aware that we're still steadily working toward toward the goals there. In fact, I should also mention that with GroupWise, that's of note is that coming around in the 25, I think we're targeting 25.2-ish. We'll be doing a lot of work heading up to it, but it's the SIEM security event logging feature. So we're scoping that out, and it's going to take us a little bit of time to get that all together. We'll be working on it, hoping to deliver that in 24.2. We'll have updates with that to follow, as we get closer. So, and then finally, there's a discussion topic in the community forum that was a poll around GroupWise Messenger. If you haven't voted in that, I would appreciate your feedback if you're interested in giving an answer to a quick couple questions there. So,
Eric, we've got a couple of questions for you here. Are there any GMS developments on the horizon for 25.x?
I don't have any GMS updates to provide at the moment. So I'll look to provide some of those a little bit later on down the line.
And the other is, what is the status of SSO/NAM integration for GW Web?
Yeah, so we are looking at that for 25.1. And so we'll be working toward trying to deliver that. That would be the January release. There is a possibility that we'll see where that goes, but that's the target for it. Yes.
And then I've got one for Jay. What is our support platform for OES 2018 SP3? Are we supporting GroupWise 24.3 on that officially?
I believe that support will come in 24.4. I will track that down and answer in the forum.
Perfect, thank you.
No more question, Ben?
Not at the moment, Mike.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Okay, Eric, you are done with the update, so we can move over to who's next? Lex or Bob? Who
Bob.
wants to? Bob
Bob
wants
will
to
go
present.
first.
Okay, so I will make Bob, if I can, the moderator.
Oh, Lex, do you want me to show creating a user? Is that what you want me to show? I mean, how to set up?
You're just going to use you're going to show how to set up to get the keys and stuff for the
okay.
webinar.
All right, so
Install keys for the admin is all you need to show.
So you can share your screen if you want.
second here. Can you guys see this?
Yes, GroupWise administration.
So we have added to the client options integrations. We have added Webex. And so this is one of the easiest setups you'll probably ever see if I can do this right. If I can remember the link to go to. My notes are at home at the office and I'm at home here. Bear with me here.
Hey, Bob, we have a gentleman asking, Claude, as a matter of fact, is asking if you could make the resolution any better. It's very, very small.
That's because I'm probably I'm sharing a large monitor. Let's see. Let me start over here. Yeah.
And Bob, another gentleman, Dave Webb, says that your audio is really low. I can hear you fine, but some people may not be able to.
Is that better?
Oh, that's
Much
much,
better.
much better.
Okay, let's go through this. I'm just logging in here. It's not what I wanted. I'm sorry. Let's see now. Okay, so now I'm at the point where I can create an integration, which is basically you go to this link, developerwebex.com integrations, and it'll have this button, create an integration. The first time you log in as an admin user, assuming you have a WebEx system set up and you can do this, the next time you do create an integration, you get to this page, which has like 3 questions. So you leave this no, give it a name. I'll say just use an icon like that one. Give it some description. And must put that string in as the redirect URI or it won't work. Which is www.opentext.com/native client. And then you have to set the scopes, which I remember is this and this. Meeting schedules read, meeting schedules write. Yeah, I think forgot that I had left my notes at work and I'm sitting here at home, so. Read schedule, meeting preferences read, find that right here. This will all be documented. I think I already made a video on this. And one more, Spark people read. Hard to find in here. This one. And then all you have to do then is click add integration. Comes up with this page. And this client ID is pasted in here. The client secret that's here, it's pasted in here. Once you do that, you're set. You have to remember you can only copy this client secret once, which is when you create it. The next time you come here, it'll say regenerate, and you don't want to do that once you have it going, because that'll break everybody you have. But anyway, that's pretty much it as far as setup.
Okay.
Okay.
Do we have questions on that front? I don't think so, right? Nope.
We don't.
Okay. Lex, you can take it from here.
Okay, can I just share mic, or do you need to grant me some rights to do that? Yeah, I can.
Yep, I do that. Sorry. You should share your desk.
Mm. Mm. Says I can't share.
You are a moderator, so now, yeah,
Okay.
now we can see your screen, GroupWise administration.
Is that all you can see as a GroupWise administration?
Yes.
Let
So
me
the
see.
browser window. Yeah.
Yeah, just the one browser window. Okay, so
Correct.
I'm trying to share the whole screen. Uh,
So if you start sharing, then on the left-hand side, you see screen 1,
Yeah.
2.
I was having trouble finding the. Here we go.
Yep.
Okay.
Now we can
Sorry about
see
that.
our desk. Yep.
Excuse me. Okay, so Bob showed you how to generate those keys. Just show you real quick. I'm just in as a user here in the client, along with our other integration keys. It's under Tools, Options, and Environment. In this case, you'll see that the Enable Webex Integrations is grayed out and selectable for this user. And so you'll also see that when I open appointments, I show Zoom and Teams, but I don't show Webex. And that is because in this user's options inside of admin, I do not have it enabled and have it locked so that they can't do Webex integrations. Now, if we look at this user here, you'll see that again, there's no Webex. We see Zoom and Teams. If we go to their tools, options, and environment, you'll see that it's there, it's enabled, but it's not selectable, or it's not selected. So because of that, the WebEx didn't show up as an option. So now it shows up as an option. It's there available, like the Teams and the Zoom. Once you choose this, we need to go in and do a login. You can see if I right click on that, it'll show login to WebEx, which tells me that I'm not logged in currently. So either when you do the send or just like the other integrations, if I go to open the slider to give me the options, that's when they'll do the login. In this case, it tells me that the WebEx application definition is missing information. Contact your system administrator. And this is the case because this particular user if we go into their client options, integrations, WebEx, you'll see that it is enabled in here, but these two required fields have not been filled in. So it doesn't have enough information to be able to log into the WebEx. So both of these are required. If there's just one, you're going to get the same kind of thing. So in this case, they get the error, and then they're not going to be able to use the WebEx integrations. Now let's go to this user. And here, if I open my new appointment, again, it's not there. If we go into tools options, and this user now has it enabled. So now it shows up. I click that. Either I can, again, choose the login here. And in this case, the user, it stored some cookies and stuff to be able to log in. Every once in a while, it will reset those, and you'll have to be forced to just re-log in again. So you'll see that it gets populated with these options. Real quick, I'm just going to show you what you'll see if you're not logged in. So I logged out. I can do right click and log out of there. So now I'm logged out of it. So if I do log in here, or if I go to, oh, sorry, it kept that cached. Let me. This is going to do the login process as if the other integrations, the client gets grayed out, so you can't use it because there can be some issues that get caused if you're doing some other things behind while it's trying to do this. So we prompted to log in. And now I'm logged in, and so these populate.
We have Volker in the chat, in the question and answer area, who would like to know the following. Where does GroupWise store the login authentication token once it's logged in?
Bob, do you want to answer that?
We save it in the user's database.
Okay. How can we log out and change the user for the Teams login used for the GroupWise Teams plugin?
Well, it's just as easy as he says.
Just
Log out of Teams and then log in again. Once you log out of Teams, we throw away that token, and then you have to start over.
so the next,
Perfect.
yes, the next prompt that comes up, you can just put in the different users login information and be able to go from there.
Great, thanks.
Okay. Sorry, I went ahead and did that so we could bring that dialog up. Yeah, so you just put in the new login information here. I'm just going to put back in. Okay. Now I'm going to go over to main user here. User all set up, has all the options. Let me just go to next week here. So I'm going to select this. I'm going to open up the slider. So it checked, had the login information. So it went ahead and did that. Let me go ahead and add some users. Webex demo. Let's do it here. $4 p.m. just so this is easier to see. Then you have these different options that are available. These are just a subset of the options available inside the full, Webex client. So you can have a personal room, which is a specified room with certain criteria that's a specific room each for you, for your personal room. It's defined in the client. So this is the Webex web version of the view. This is the Webex application here. If I just go under settings and meetings, here we go. Here's your personal room here. You can set it up with some information, log in, your ID. So this is what will be used every time you use that personal room option. Meeting templates, you can set up different templates for what you want to use to have various options selected, so you could do those. For those templates inside the Webex, when you do a meeting, for instance, and you schedule one, you can set it up with the different options you want. And then here you say save as template, and then you'll give it a name. These are the ones that are already there. And then once you do that, you'll see that in this list that you can choose. Then you have various options, exclude password from the email. That's basically, I just created one here. In the email, when they get the email or the appointment with the information, you'll notice that it's password here. This field is blank. So password will still exist, will still show up in the text, but the password will not be there. So for instance, if we open this one, we included it, there's a password there. So that's what that does. Here's your lobby options, who has to wait in the lobby for the invite to be able to join in. Can't join the meeting. People who aren't on the invite or aren't signed in can't join the meeting. So this would prevent me able to forward the appointment to someone else and then them use the link to be able to get in. They wouldn't be able to join the meeting. automatic lockout sessions, allow participants to join before the host, allow attendees to unmute themselves, mute participants, and automatically record meetings. So these are the options you can choose from. I'm going to
And
go ahead and,
Lex,
yes.
this information is also stored in the user database?
Well, this
Oh.
information is just, you're just
Oh,
creating
don't store
information
any
for
of-
the
Okay.
appointment.
or any of that.
But the rest of this is stored, basically personal room is stored in your Webex information. It's just
Okay.
coming from there. And the same thing for these templates.
Okay, thank you.
One thing I do store is the ID of the template you used in case you duplicate it. But all the other stuff is in WebEx only.
Okay,
Great,
so on the
thanks, Bob.
12th, 4 to 5 p.m., I'm going to go ahead and send that. And so here's that appointment. This is for me. Contains the subject, the time, the link, just like the other integrations, the meeting ID, and then some dial-in information if you need that to dial in with a phone. This meeting ID, you don't need any of that. So this is just, again, maybe you remember this from the Zoom and the MS Teams. You don't need this information to join the meeting from the appointment. This link here will take you to that meeting. And again, then they typically always include the link itself fully out, just in case you have some issues with this one. This meeting ID you would use if you were dialing in on the phone. Then when you do your join meeting here, you would copy this either in the web browser or in here, same kind of thing. You would copy this in, and then it would pull that up, and then you could press here and join. If you need to put a passcode, then it would be prompted for that. I'm not going to do it right now because I don't want to screw up our webinar we have going here. Then you'd enter the password, and then you'd be able to go to get into the meeting. If I proxy over to this user, one of the ones that sent it to, you'll see that the appointment is there as well. The sender says to start the WebEx meeting, click here. This is recipient, so it's going to say to join the meeting. Click here, and then it'll go ahead and take them to a link and launch it. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to open this meeting. I'm going to launch it here. Tested this before. It shouldn't stop you from hearing me or the webinar, so I'm going to go ahead and say join. I'm going to go over on another machine as that user that I sent it to. And I am going to join it from there just so you can see. So I'm going to open the appointment in there. I'm going to click the here, there. I'm prompted to join. I'm going to join over here on the other one because I'm one of the people that have to wait in the lobby. I get prompted with a thing. I'm going to say notify host. I'm going to start the meeting here. And then you'll see that it says they're waiting in the lobby. That's my other user there. I'm going to go ahead and say let in. And now there's a meeting. I got to close that quick because I'm getting feedback. So, and you can still hear me, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, good. This is the information you'll see inside the WebEx client for that same meeting. And again, you can use the browser or the app in the WebEx. So you can do all the different things you typically can do inside the GroupWise client with appointments, such as edit well, let me just show you real quick. Let's see. So here's this one showing up inside the Webex client here. I'm going to come in here and I'm going to say edit. I'm just going to do a simple edit here in the GroupWise client. Go ahead and send that update and let it, and then the update comes into the Webex client. So you can do all your edits and things like that in the GroupWise client. The one thing, which is the same with the other integration apps, you can't edit your appointment and such inside of the Webex client and have those sent back and updated to the GroupWise client. When you create them in here, you can edit them inside the GroupWise client, and they will be replicated up to Webex, but not the other way around. And that's just how the integrations are for these different integration tools that we're using. You can also be able to do Webex in proxy. So I'm going to proxy over to this particular user. I'm going to go ahead and say new appointment here. See now that I'm doing an appointment for this user, I'm actually going to, add a couple of users here. One of those users I'm going to do is the user I'm proxied in as. Webex to show you that I'm logged in. Go ahead and use a different template. Go ahead and send that appointment, and here it is. Now there's a couple of things with proxy. So the person that proxies in, so my user 2 that proxied into there, they're still actually the creator of this appointment. When this is done, this user here becomes a co-host. So they have all the rights and such. That's necessary because if we create a meeting and we have these wait in the lobby until you're admitted, and we don't have the person that starts the meeting, this user 5, if they don't have co-host rights and it's just a normal meeting, then no one would be able to join, or they'd have to be waiting in the lobby until the actual creator or host started the meeting. And so this user 2 would have to have started the meeting or no one to get in. But with in this fashion, user 2 would not even have to join, user 5 could start it, and all the other recipients would be able to be allowed in, and this user could also be start the meeting officially. Now, so in here, this proxy, while I'm proxied in, they can edit this and make changes to it. This user logging in directly to them, you'll be able to edit this appointment as well. The only issue with the proxy would be if I log in and proxy to this user and I go to an appointment that the user 5 created, or a WebEx appointment that the user 5 created in and of themselves, then I will not be able to edit it as the proxy user because I didn't create it. And so there'll be, we just implemented that in, it's not in this build, but if I go to edit, it will be prompted that I didn't create this appointment, so I will not be able to edit it. and then we'll disable that edit feature. One thing I forgot to mention is that if you do, so if you have proxy rights to a user and you have read and create rights to the appointments, then you'll be able to do Webex appointments. But if you also need to do something inside of Webex to allow to be able to you'll have to go into settings and scheduling, and you will have to grant scheduling permissions to the user, the Webex user that you want to be able to, let's see. Help me with this, Bob. This will be so you can.
This is so that if the proxy user creates appointments in your account, that you'll be able to edit them. I think that's how it goes.
Oh, right. So
it's sort of backwards, but it's the best we can do with the way that the API for Webex is set up. If we try to use this feature directly, we have to be an administrator, which doesn't really work as far as trying to implement this for all users. So we've come up with a compromise.
oh, yeah. So because this proxy 2 is the actual creator of these appointments, and they're created in this user's mailbox, and they're the co-host. You have to grant. I'd have to grant this user 5 scheduling permission rights before this user 5 would be able to edit the appointments that the user 2 created for them. So you create them with proxy and whatever, but if this user 5 went in to edit one of these that the user 2 had created for them, where did I put my proxy? Because they're not the owner, they're just a co-host, you have to have granted these scheduling privileges to this user 5 so that they could edit these appointments that user 2 created. Does that make sense? So without that, you'd be able to proxy in, create these appointments in this other user with no problem, start them, run them. But if this user wanted to edit appointment that proxy 2 created, or the user 2 created for them, they would have to have this set up inside of Webex. You can do, again, all the different items. You can do recurring appointments inside, including for Webex appointments. You'll see again, here's this recurring one here. I can edit these, so I'm just going to drag this. Hold on. That was a problem, and I knew that because I'm still proxied in, and so here's the creator of these appointments, the owner. So I'm going to say no to go into the busy search. I'm going to say all instances 8 to 9, move them to 9 to 10. There they go there. And in just a second, This is still updating. Well, that didn't work. That didn't show up in here like I expected it to. Just look here and see if it. Okay, I have to look at that. That should have all got updated and refreshed there and moved all these down to 9 to 10. So has worked in the past, but as you know, the demo gods got me. And that's about it as far as the integrations with the Webex appointments, meetings. You have any questions?
Aren't any at the moment.
Okay. All right.
That means you have done a very good job, Lex. No questions. You answered them all before.
I'm not sure if that's the conclusion you can come to. Confused them all.
Have some. He did have some questions. I asked them as he was going along, as they came
Yeah.
up.
Yeah. So thanks, Bob. Thanks, Lex, for showing us the Webex integration. Looks very, very good to me. So yeah, I like it. Do we have open questions, Pam, so that we can take for the rest of the 6 minutes we have?
We don't at the moment.
So put your questions in if you have some. If not, we will give you 5 to 6 minutes back today. So thank you very much, everyone, for joining. Are there coming in questions?
Nope.
Nope. Okay. So thank you very much for joining. Have a great rest of the day or start of the day. And we see us back next month. Same place, same people. Have a nice day. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Oh, thanks, Pam. Sorry. And Jay
Oh,
for
you're
answering all the good
You're
questions. Sorry.
Fine, Mike. You're fine.
And thanks,
Later,
Eric, for the
everybody.
update. Thanks. Bye-bye.